Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to smoothly control material parameter collections in Unreal Engine using our ultimate material control plugin. Instead of manually tweaking materials or timelines, you can just drive any visual effect using a single component. The plugin is highly optimized, fully written in C++, and all the functionalities are exposed to blueprints, so you have full control over the system. Without further ado, let's begin. Okay, so right now I'm in the Ultimate Material Control directory, where you can find Blueprints folder. And in here we got some example actors. Let's open the B Material Control actor. And in here, as you can see, I have already added the B_material control component. This is the component that are controlling the material collection parameters. So if you want to add it, you just go in here and type B_material control component, and that's it. Okay, now let's open up the component. And in here you can find the list of the functions that we have provided that are exposed from C++ to blueprints. So very important, two main functions are set scalar parameters with lerp and set vector parameters with lerp. These two functions basically starts the lerping of the parameters, either scalar parameters or vector parameters. If we go back into our material control actor, here we can see that we are adding a little delay, and then we are using the set scalar parameter with lerp, and the scalar parameter we are changing is the, over here you can find it in parameter name, so it's glow strength. And all of these parameters, either scalar or vector parameters, are defined in the material parameter collection, which also needs to be defined in the component. If I click on the component, in the details category you will find default collection. That means that this is the default material parameter collection the system work with. If we open up the material parameter collection, here you can see that I've added two scalar parameters, glow strength and texture switch, and one vector parameter called tint color. These are the parameters we can change, and these parameters are also being used in the material itself. So let's first look into the material, which is very simple. So if I go into the materials folder, over here you will find Ultimate Material Control Base. Let's open it up. So as you can see, we are using the texture switch parameter over here, tint color parameter, and glow strength parameter. Texture switch parameter basically tells us if the texture switch parameter is value of 0, it's gonna take the blue texture, and if it's value of 1, it's gonna take the red texture. And for tint color and glow strength, if we are not controlling the textures, we are using the tint color. So basically we just set the color, and that's gonna go into the base color of the material. So if I put here the red color, for example, the cube's gonna be red. And for the glow strength, in here we are controlling the emissive color. Okay, so if I go back into the material control actor, let's first of all use only the scalar parameters. So I'm gonna disconnect the vector one. And the input parameter for the function is array of structures. So you can easily lerp as many scalar parameters as you like. So now let's look into the material scalar parameter data structure. And here we got a few options. If you're familiar with our Ultimate C++ Morph Target Control plugin, this is very similar. First parameter is collection override. Basically means if we want to override the collection, the default collection that's being used is defined in the component itself. However, if we override it over here, it's gonna take the overrided value. Then we got the parameter name, which is the parameter from our material parameter collection. So over here you got the name of the parameter, so this name, you're just gonna copy that and put it in here. Target value, so when the interpolation is done, it's gonna reach this value. Also we have here lerp time, lerp curve. If you want, you can set here the curve for the interpolation. So for example, if I put here cf_cubic, that means that the system for interpolation will gonna use this curve. However, if the lerp curve is not being set, the system will use automatically linear interpolation. Then we get the use reset time. What it means is that if our lerping is done, so we have reached the target value, if this is true, then after reset delay of 2 seconds, we're gonna lerp back in the previous state that we had before the interpolation. Then we got the use reset target override. So if we don't want to reset to the previous value that was set before the interpolation, you can just tick this on and override the value over here, and the system will gonna use this value as the reset value. Okay, so let's try that. So we are changing glow strength to 150 in 1 second, and then we're gonna reset the interpolation back. So we are keeping the state for 2 seconds, and then we are resetting it back with the lerp time of 1 second. Okay, let's play. So now we have the glow effect, and then we went back to the previous value. Okay, let's now try to override the value. So in here, we're gonna increase it even more. So target value is 150. So let's go to like maybe 1000 so we can see the difference. So we got a glow effect, and now you're gonna interpolate into 1000 value. Okay, now let's unplug this and let's put in the set vector parameters with lerp. Okay, the function has a similar input parameter. It's again array of structures, and also the parameters are working the same as in the scalar parameters. However, the value we are setting is not a float, it's a vector. So for example, if I want to change the color of the cube from white to red, I'm gonna put the red color over here, and then we're gonna reset the state and go back to white color. So let's try that. So now it's red, and then we go back to the white color. Okay, also let's try the reset target override. Maybe let's put it to blue. And now if we play, we're gonna reset back to blue color instead of white. Okay, if we go back to the list of functions, as you can see, you can also initialize default collection. You can also stop specific scalar immediately or stop specific vector parameter immediately. You can clear all the parameters, meaning it's gonna do reset on all of the ongoing lerps. You can pause all interpolation, you can resume all interpolation, and also you can reset all active parameters. For the getter functions, you can actually get all of the informations you need about ongoing or resetting interpolations. And also we have provided the bindable events. So we got 4 of them for scalar parameters and 4 of them for vector parameters. So for example, when scalar parameter interpolation is completed, when the reset is completed, when the interpolation started, or when the interpolation is being updated, you get the response from these events, also with the information of what is the current material parameter collection and what is the parameter name. That way you got full control over this whole system, and you can easily integrate your custom logic into this system. Thank you guys so much for watching. Also, you can find the download link for the plugin in the description. And if you want support, have questions, or you want to join our developer community, you are warmly welcome on our Sumo Studio Discord server. Thank you again for watching, and see you in the next one.